Hey everyone, this is David B. And it's a rainy evening here in Delaware. Maybe you can hear the sound of the rain in the background. It'll be rainy again tomorrow as well, so maybe I'll get the day off of work since when it's raining outside, there's no hawks flying. But I wanted to show this. Let me cover up the address. I checked the mail here, and this magazine came for someone else. It's Vogue. And I had never seen this magazine before. I've heard of it, but I'd never actually looked inside, so I was curious. So I opened it up to take a look. And first, let me show the back. So the back is a Gucci ad. Gucci being a very expensive clothing company. And we can already see the woman on the back. These glasses are designed to look like they're upside down. She's got these ridiculously large gloves on in the summer. You can see the green plants behind her, so it's summer. And I think the point of the ad is probably to sell you this purse, which probably costs, I don't even know how much, maybe thousands of dollars, or certainly at least hundreds. So that really gives us a taste of what's inside the magazine, because you look at it and it's a really thick magazine. So you think, oh, there must be a lot of articles and a lot of important information in here. But actually, you open it up and you see advertisements for skin cream to keep you looking young, or for very expensive companies like Prada. So expensive clothing companies. Prada, here's Dior. But this magazine just puzzles me a little bit, because I was trying to figure out, first of all, who actually reads this and who it's aimed for. Dior, we have Louis Vuitton. But the clothing in these ads, it's just ridiculous. No one wears this kind of stuff, or do they? I don't know. I guess one point I want to make is be careful about getting something like this and thinking that this somehow represents American culture, because it certainly doesn't represent the American culture that I'm familiar with. Now, maybe it's a very urban kind of culture, and maybe more multicultural, more diverse. If you look at the ads, there's a lot of different ethnic backgrounds represented. But again, we have Chanel. So all of the ads they're trying to sell you very expensive clothing or jewelry or skin cream to keep you looking young. And actually, it smells good, because some of the pages are for perfume or cologne, and they have the scent there. But it just, finally, if you go in far enough, you come across some actual articles. And there's a couple articles in a row that are written by big name people like Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, and Melinda Gates, the wife of Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, and the pop star Billie Eilish. But each article is only like one page, and there's not a whole lot of substance to it. They're just kind of like the Melinda Gates one was talking about how the global response in countries that have women as leaders was better than countries with men as leaders. But that point was made. Everyone saw that point 5 months ago on Facebook as a meme. So it's nothing earth-shattering. It just felt like these articles lacked any substance, and that was like the only actual articles in the book, or in the magazine, I mean. And everything else is just ads. I mean, you open up every page, it's just ads trying to sell you ridiculous clothing. I mean, what is this? Who buys this? Who wears this? Now, there is something, I mean, these kind of ads are very well done. I mean, if you look at this, the photography is excellent. I'm sure the clothing is difficult to design and to manufacture. And So maybe it makes sense that it is expensive to buy. But who's buying this clothing? I mean, you can appreciate fashion just for the sake of fashion, but I don't understand. I've never seen anyone wearing clothes that look anything like this. And then there's an ad in here. I don't know if I'll be able to find it quick, but here it is. There's an ad from Levi's, the jean company, Levi Jeans. And it's basically talking about how if every person bought one piece of used clothing instead of new clothing, how much waste would be saved in the world. And it's basically trying to promote their new shop where they're selling secondhand jeans, meaning jeans that other people owned already. So promoting the idea of buying used clothing rather than new. But do they not understand the irony of putting that kind of ad in a magazine like this, where it's going to be surrounded by other ads that are trying to sell you, handbags that cost $300 and masks that cost $40 and dresses that cost $1,000 and shoes that cost $700. Just everything represented in here is so expensive. And like some of the stuff is just completely ridiculous too. Like there's this picture of someone dressed up looking like a stalk of wheat. I mean, what in the world? So don't read something like this if you're trying to see everyday American culture. There must be people in a city somewhere who are represented by this magazine, but none of the people I know in my life are anything like what is represented in this magazine. They don't wear clothing like that. And part of it, these are brands that some people might buy trying to come across as richer than they are. So maybe there's an element of that in it, that someone who's middle class might be looking at this and say, oh, if I buy Chanel or I buy Louis Vuitton, then maybe I'll come across as a higher social status. And I'm sure some of those companies, that's probably a lot of their business. But I don't know how much money the people who read this kind of magazine are bringing in that they could even afford to just buy this kind of clothing. And then all of the articles and anything of substance in the magazine is politically very left-wing, very social justice oriented, very liberal. And so it's almost like this magazine is targeted at very rich liberals who want to read something that makes them feel good about, women are making progress in the world and minorities are making progress in the world, and we can make these great environmental changes in the world. But it's kind of, it feels like it's a bit disassociated from the reality, because on the one hand, you're promoting to buy these outrageously expensive items of clothing, and then we're talking about people who are struggling in their day-to-day life. So I don't know, I'm very puzzled by the whole magazine and the whole concept, and so it's fun to look through, but I can't imagine someone sitting down month after month and reading through this magazine. So anyway, that's just me trying to figure out this magazine that I randomly stumbled across. So maybe someone can explain it to me in the comments. Do you like looking at this kind of magazine? Would you pay to receive this kind of magazine that is, literally 95% ads and just a couple articles? So anyway, someone explain this to me, because I don't get it. This is David B. Thanks for watching.